Good afternoon, self-lovers. It's Katie here, founder of the School of Self-Love and the author of this book, The Self-Love Affair, A Woman's Guide to a Daring and Mighty Life. And I'm so amazed, actually, to be with you on week 19 of these live trainings that I've been running. So for the last 19 weeks, we have literally, like a book club, been going through my book week by week, and I've said on many occasions, you know, it's been an absolute pleasure and joy for me to actually dive really deeply back into my own work. It's really interesting. I think, you know, as an author, you write a book, you put it out there, and it's kind of put on the shelf perhaps. But this book it really is a workbook. It's a workbook before it's sure, it's a great book to read. It's a great book to actually just kind of almost tune into and open and see where the page lands, and it'll give you some guidance for sort of where you're at on your own self-love affair journey. I think all books actually can work really, really well like that. They can be an amazing guidance system. But it's been amazing for me to actually go through this and apply it to my life again on an even more deep level. You know, when I wrote the book, I felt qualified to write it. And then when I was going through the process of writing it, the universe took me deeper in every single chapter. And the universe was like, okay, Katie, you think you know what you're writing about. You think that you live and breathe this. So try this. So when I was actually writing the book, I was taken deeper into every single chapter, which was an amazing, amazing experience. So I didn't just write a book. I lived and breathed it and applied these teachings every single day while I was writing it. Ever since then, that was, 2 to 3 years ago now, I apply this work with all of my clients. I apply it to my life 100%. I live by the teachings in this book because they work. And we're always going to our next level. You know, I've said this a gazillion times on these trainings, the higher you desire to go, the deeper you tend to have to dig. Because if you're here and you want to go there, anything blocking you to there is something probably from your past or an old belief system or a sabotaging pattern of behavior that needs clearing out so you can rise. And as spiritual beings, as you know, we are always rising. We are always going to our next level. We're always desiring to expand and be more. And I really believe to be of even greater service in the world. So, we're always doing that. And for me, choosing, I think it was beginning of January this year, I decided that I really wanted to go deeper into these teachings, and I really wanted to create a resource for my community where, you could read the book and have my support as you go through it. And so the last 19 weeks, I've been providing that for you guys, and it's been another chance for me to go even deeper into my own work and apply the tools again and again and again. And I've loved it. And it shook things up for me. And I'm not going to lie, like doing this work, it's not for the faint of heart, and I know those of you that have been following these teachings all these weeks and perhaps many months, longer, many years. I mean, I've got clients who I've been working with for a long time who I know have been enjoying these teachings because it's all a good reminder. And we humans, in our beautiful, glorious humanness, we need reminders. And when you choose to love yourself, when you completely commit to living consciously, to choosing love over fear every single day, when you choose such a conscious path, life's going to challenge you. Life's going to really show you your stuff and show you what needs transforming. And for me, going through this the last, few months with you guys, it's thrown some stuff up, and it's been amazing. It's been hugely cleansing. I don't even know where to begin to tell you how much has cleansed in my life the last few months, how much space has been cleared out to create space not, did I say how much space has been cleared out? How much stuff and junk, and whether it's a belief system or actual physical stuff in the house that needed to go to a charity shop or put on eBay. Or last week I sold my car. It was brilliant. And I totally applied my manifesting techniques, which I shared with you guys in the last training. And I saw the most perfect buyers coming to buy my car. I posted the ad on the Sunday night. By when did they view it? It would have been, where are we? It was Wednesday or Thursday. They viewed it. The first person that responded to my ad came and viewed it. It was a yes straight away. It was a deal there and then, and they drove the car away. I mean, it doesn't get any easier. When you apply what I teach in the last chapters of this book, it really works. And anything blocking it to working is a belief system. And that's what the Self-Love Affair is all about. It's clearing out anything that's blocking you to having what you want. So yeah, the last few weeks I've been clearing out physically my personal space. I've been doing more exercise. I've been loving that, getting fit and healthy. I've been clearing out belief systems that don't serve me anymore. I've been releasing emotional stuff that doesn't serve me anymore. It's a process, and I'm always doing it. We're always clearing out and, allowing ourselves to be the cleanest, most, clean and clear channel to call in what we want, and so that we can be really of high service in the world. And that's what this work is about, for you to really serve the planet, for you to be the woman that you came here to be. You have got to commit to a self-love process always. It's not a course you take and then thank you very much, I'm finished. This is a commitment to a new way of doing life. And over the past 19 weeks, through all the chapters here, you've literally been learning a brand new way of doing life. And then that takes practice. And like I've said a gazillion times, our humanness forgets. And it's very easy to kind of come back to how society is doing life, or how other people are doing life, or how we were taught to do life. And we have to every day stop and check in and remember the truth of who we are and what we choose to believe and what we value and how we desire to show up that day. Every single day, we've got to set our intention to be that woman, to lead through love and not fear, to choose thoughts that serve her, to release emotions that are blocking her energy body. Because when the emotions are released, oh my God, there's so much space for inspiration and guidance to come in, for us to be led and shown how to live our biggest, best life. It's super exciting. So that's what we've been doing the last few weeks. And I kind of just want to wrap up those few weeks by looking at the final chapter. So let's take a look, shall we? And actually, let me read this out to you, because the final chapter begins with a quote from A Course in Miracles. And let me just read this to you, because I think this is particularly beautiful. Miracles honor you because you are lovable. They dispel illusions about yourself and perceive the light in you. They thus atone for your errors by freeing you from your nightmares, by releasing your mind from the imprisonment of your illusions. They restore your sanity. That's from A Course in Miracles. Isn't that beautiful? And isn't that just what we've been doing all these weeks? Like identifying our illusions, our fear-based stories, stuff that we were told, or experiences that we had that we made meaning from at a very young age that have impacted the rest of our life. Aren't we choosing every day to believe thoughts that love us, that serve us, that allow us to go and do and be and have whatever we want? That's what it's been about. We're releasing emotions that are blocking us to having and doing and being what we want. That's what this process has been. It's been a process of reconnecting to your spiritual self. Because when we're connected to that truth, which is pure, beautiful love, then we are totally hooked into source energy, to the power of all that is. That's where miracles happen. That's when we can manifest everything that we desire. And that's when we can live totally on purpose. When we're living on purpose, we feel totally fulfilled. We feel filled up. when we're on purpose and we're tuned into the truth of who we are, we're not looking externally anymore for love and approval and significance and validation and worthiness and acceptance. Like, enough with that. Total energy drain. When we are totally hooked in with the truth of who we are, when we really can love ourselves and trust ourselves. Trust is a really big piece, actually. We trust ourselves and believe that we are more than enough. Oh, it's such a release. It's such a relief. We can just be who we are unapologetically. It's amazing. And I've loved going through this process with you these last few weeks. And I'm not going to lie, like, it stirred things up. And I can see even in the business, I can see in the School of Self-Love, and I've got another brand, Daring and Mighty, which is my personal brand. I can see in both of those a shake-up happening. It's quite exciting. I'm actually looking for a business partner. I'm looking, I've got big ideas and big dreams and big plans. I am so committed to serving women. And I'm wondering if that commitment is going to extend even more into men, because we're all the same, right? But I'm so committed to supporting women. I'm particularly supported to serving women who are over 40. I work with very young women. Very young women, it's all relative, right? I work with women in their 20s and their 30s and their 40s and their 50s and their 60s. I do. And I can see with my life experience and my expertise, and what really fires me up is the opportunity right there for a woman over 40. A woman that turns from 40 onwards, oh my God, does she begin to own herself? Does she begin to challenge everything in her life? Does she begin to realize the importance of putting herself first? And you might have seen, I ran an interview series recently called My Menopause, and I learned so much about a woman's hormones and what's happening from sort of the age of 40 onwards. And our hormones actually are shifting to move us into a place of being more of service to ourselves. Our hormones are actually inviting us to put ourselves first. It's amazing. So physiologically, we are being called to love ourselves. We are being called physiologically to know who we are, value who we are, and be more of that in the world, because we're wise at this point in our life. And we've got pretty much, we're living long now, right? So we've still got another half of our life to live, right? And it's time to step up and be of service. And we can't step up and be of service if we're not really, truly honoring who we are, being that woman in the world. It's so freaking exciting. So, and I'll keep going off track, but suffice to say, like, this process has me question every day, it has me consciously tune in every day to how authentic am I being? How true am I being to me and what I believe and how I want to show up and how I run my business and how I show up in my relationships and my friendships, whatever relationship. I get to choose that every day, and so do you. And I'm going to share some tools with you from this last chapter for how you can really take all these teachings and embed them into your life. I've got a message here from Marima in Adelaide. I love that name. I wish we could speak so you could explain to me how to pronounce it. Marima, maybe I'm saying it right. So wish I have found you earlier. Found you through the menopause series. So loved that in the last few weeks with you here. I'm learning so much. It's brilliant. Loving and believing in myself more and seeing small results each day. Yes, good. Love it. So glad. Brilliant, brilliant. Well, look, the recordings are all there. So you just go to the schoolofself.love, the website, click on the blog, and they're all there. Like boom, 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 19 weeks worth, all in order. There's nothing in between each week, so you can just totally work through. Okay, done. And I'm very glad to have you here. So let's just take a look at what this final chapter is and how it wraps up the self-love affair journey. So really, I'm giving you my top 3 tools to take forward. And the first one is I'm inviting you to create an ongoing support plan. And the first thing I actually say is to not use me or this book as a one-stop shop. Like, clearly, if you follow me, like, I'm no master, I'm no guru. I'm not, you know, I'm a girl that learned a different way of doing life and a way that works. And I'm sharing that. And there is so many other teachers doing this work. And my way is one way, and there will be others. And look, if I could show you my bookshelf, I have got books and books and books, all sorts of different people that I really value and I follow. And, you know, at the end of the day, we all share the same message. There's really nothing new here. It's just the way in which we do it. You know, I might be more relatable to you than somebody else, and yet there'll be somebody else even more relatable to you, you know, right? So we find our teachers. So I really invite you, if you are on this personal development journey, if you really do desire to more deeply know and love yourself, if you want to live consciously, if you want to be of higher service to the planet, go do your research, get curious, get interested. Who else is teaching this stuff? What are they teaching that I've never even mentioned before? There's so much out there, you know? So yeah, follow me, follow my work. Yes, the School of Self-Love has amazing programs and courses. We have so much on offer at all different price points. So there really is no excuse. There is a lot available at different price points. So if you really want to go deep, we've got all sorts available to you. And search out other authors, search out other teachers. Start here with us and continue the journey. I really, really believe that. Choose who you spend time with going forward now. This is a really important conscious intention I'm inviting you to make. Notice who you are surrounding yourself with. You know, the people that you spend the most time with are very reflective of you. So if there's people in your life that are annoying you, or, you know, that you feel challenge your personal growth, or I don't know, whatever it is, they bug you in some way, they are reflecting your internal world. Like our external world, no matter what it is, reflects our internal world. If there's disharmony outside and around us, whether that's relationships, whether it's money, whether it's career, whatever it is, any disharmony outside of us is just a reflection of what's going on internally. Equally, when it comes to who you're choosing to spend time with, how about choosing to spend time with people that are consciously on this path, who also, just like you, are a self-love warrior? They fiercely want to know and love themselves. They're unapologetic about it. They want to live their biggest life, and they are. Every day, bit by bit, they're committed to living their biggest life. If you surround yourself with people like that, that's going to have a huge impact on your own personal vibration. It's going to support you and allow you to grow and develop and not be shy or embarrassed about it. You just to really, really go for it. So, you know, find networking groups, find meetup groups, find online Facebook groups like this one and the Self-Love Hub. You know, get yourself supported. Don't do this on your own. Create your own group. If you really love this book, create a book club and go through it together. Do it together. Why not? Choose other books that really inspire you and create an inspirational book club, but get support. You don't have to do this on your own. I recently created a supper club. It's called Daring and Mighty Dinners, and I started by inviting a handful of women who I really adore, who I believe to be daring and mighty, and I want to be in their company. I want to be in their presence. They're inspiring. They're doing amazing things in the world. They think like I think. I could totally be myself, and they don't think I'm a weirdo. And I invited all of them to bring a +1. And then now the group's growing, and the +1s are inviting +1s, and, you know, and it grows. The prerequisite is you have to believe the person you're inviting is daring and mighty. And by doing this, I've created a little community where we meet, we have a couple of glasses of wine, we eat good food, we chat, we share ideas, we share stories. And it's, you know, I'm not a huge fan of networking. That format, it's brilliant. It's real connection. And I need that space. I need a space where I can be fully me. And we all do. I'm not alone in that. So as part of your own self-love affair journey, I really encourage you to get conscious to who you're spending time with and putting yourself in environments that support you. Okay? What else do I want to share with you from the book? Oh yeah, and of course, yeah, equally, getting really conscious to what you allow in your sort of field of energy. So get really conscious to what are you listening to, what are you watching, as well as who you're spending time with. So what are you putting in your ears? Are you listening to the news, or are you listening to a really uplifting podcast? By the way, I have a podcast. So if you want to plug something in your ears, I have a podcast called The Daring and Mighty Podcast. Okay. And actually all of these trainings are on that podcast too. Do you watch the news right before going to bed at night? Not ideal, really. You know, how about a nice bath and some inspirational, soft reading before going to sleep rather than the news? Maybe if you're going to watch anything, make sure it's really positive and uplifting. You know, be really conscious to what you're listening to and what you're watching, what you're reading. You know, again, are you reading newspapers? I'm not completely damning the news here. Of course, we need to know what's going on in the world. It's important. We do get to filter it a little bit. We do get to be in charge of how much we're absorbing, how many positive versus negative, love versus fear-based messages we are absorbing. We get to choose that. So just take a look and be conscious to what you're allowing into your field of awareness. Okay, and keep it upbeat, keep it inspiring, keep it love-based. Yeah, it makes the hugest difference. And in terms of manifesting and having your vibration high, that makes the biggest difference. Yeah, okay. The second point I've got here in this chapter is this idea that your journal is your new best friend. And my clients know it's something I talk about all the time. Your best friend, or your lover, your partner, husband, wife, boyfriend, whatever, girlfriend, they are not your journal. And you've got to quit it if you're using the people closest to you as your journal. There's something to be said. Excuse me, I'm just going to take a quick drink. There's something to be said for allowing you to have your process, like as the self-love affair process has been teaching you, it's a process of mental mastery and emotional mastery and spiritual connection. Excuse me, one more time. And that process can be, what's the word? That process can, we can have highs, we can have lows, we can be happy, we could be sad, we can kind of be all over the place with our process. Of course we can. And there is something for, talking therapy that I know, especially we women, we're really great. I think we really enjoy just speaking things through, just talking it through. It's like, as we speak it through, we're like, I'm hitting my awareness. Just through verbalizing, I've just dropped into that awareness. I understand. I get something more deeply. I understand myself better. I know what to do now, whatever it is. And there are certain friends you can do that with to a degree. And you got to work out what that fine line is. Because, look, I've been through a very painful separation some years ago. And there was a point at which my friends were available to hear the drama. And then there was a point at which, and my bestest friends, very bravely and lovingly, were able to say, I don't want to listen to it anymore. And quite bloody right. And thankfully, at that point in my life, I rediscovered my journal. And I hired a coach. And I hired a therapist. And I used my journal and my therapist and my coach to work through the drama, to verbalize, to vomit out everything that was going on in my head and experience everything that I was feeling. The closest people to us, there's a degree to which they can handle that, quite frankly, and we all know it, okay? So, and I think a journal is really, really powerful in terms of creating this super, super deep and intimate connection with yourself. I mean, that's what the self-love affair is all about. It's creating a relationship with you that is so honoring, so loving, so compassionate, so trustworthy. And our journal helps us to create that relationship. It's really amazing. I mean, it's such a safe space. You can't offend anybody. You can totally work through your thoughts. You can emotionally express. You can connect with your spiritual self. I know I've taught you in one of the lessons how to journal, you know, my 3 steps to journaling. So I won't do that now. You'll find it. But journaling is really, really powerful. If you want to have a really honest, open, loving relationship with somebody else, you have to have created that relationship with yourself. You have to have that deep, vulnerable intimacy and honesty with yourself. And a journal is a great place to practice that. I think journals, I mean, historically, I actually don't have this going at the minute, but when I wrote this book, and this has inspired me to do it again, I had 3 journals on the go. I had a gratitude journal, I had a success and miracles journal, and I had an expression, clarity, and connection journal. So my gratitudes journal was just basic. You know, I would wake up in the morning, write some gratitudes before I went to sleep at night, wrote some gratitudes, boom, that was that. If ever I felt a bit low, I would grab my gratitude journal and read it. And it would remind me of all I had to be grateful for in my life. And as I taught last week, gratitude is a massive game changer for raising your energetic vibration, for you to be able to call in what you desire. The other journal, Success and Miracles, this is a great one. And I have historically loved my Success and Miracles journal. And I'm so inspired to get another one because I don't have one right now. Just absolutely dedicated to just success and miracles. And it's like every single time you notice the universe supporting you. And we don't always notice, but by having a journal, you get into the habit of noticing. And again, where we put our attention is what we get more of. It's like gratitudes. Where we're grateful, we're going to get more to be grateful for. So when you notice very consciously and you actually bother to write it down, that's so powerful, how the universe has been supporting you. It's great. I mean, I really would love to do this with the sale of my car last week. It was textbook. I was so supported. I had, and little things, right, which I don't think, I mean, in the whole scheme of things, and when it comes to energy, there's no such thing as little or small, little or big. So let me give you an example. I took my son last week. It was a really hot day, and we went to get an ice cream after school. And we're in this store. It's like a post office and news agency, and they sold ice creams as well. And so we bought him an ice cream, and it was £1.99. And my son said to me, "Mummy, why is it £1.99? Like, what's the point?" I said, "I don't know, but I got the 1 penny." And the 1 penny went into my purse. And I thought, oh, all these pennies, you know, but it'll get used. I'll put it somewhere. I'll put it in one of those boxes for charity. And the next day, I was in the same shop using the post office section. There was a woman in front of me, and I don't know exactly what the price of the item was she was buying, but it was something crazy, like £6 and a penny. And she was saying to the woman, she's like, "How could it possibly be £6 and a penny? That seems really odd." And she didn't have a penny. And she was looking, and she's like, "Oh, I'm going to have to take, you know, I'm going to have to give you the £7. You're going to have to give me 99p back." She didn't want all the coin. And I heard this, and I went up to her. I said, "I have a penny. Would you like it?" She said, "Yeah, great, thank you." And it was literally the same store that I got the penny. And I thought to myself, oh, I love that flow. I love how money comes in, you know, sort of flows in and then it flows out. Now it's only a penny. It could have been £100, right? Really, it could have. It doesn't matter. When it comes to universal law, when it comes to energy, it didn't matter whether it was £100 or a penny. So I gave her the penny, and we had a chat. And the vibration was lifted because we were friendly. We were like laughing, you know, we were all kind of relating. It was a lovely little experience. And then she went to another part of the same store to buy something because you couldn't do it from the same cash register. And she bought something and was given a penny change. It's hilarious. And she gave the penny back to me. So I've still got the original penny. And it's just so interesting to me. I had a friend moving overseas, and she just moved to California. And she said, "Hey, Katie, I've got some furniture. You would actually be doing me a favor if you could take it off my hands. If you want to have it, if you don't want to get rid of it." So totally, I went and grabbed the furniture. And these are little things, right? But the furniture was being loaded into my car. And in my car, taking up space was stuff that needed to go to the tip because I'd done a clear out. And she said, oh, does that need to go to the tip? Yes, it does. I'm going to the tip now. Let me take it for you. So, and just little things. And I would write that in my gratitude book. In my Success and Miracles book now, because I can see the flow. I mean, those are such tiny little examples. And I have these happening every single day, and we all do when we tune into it. And to appreciate that, and just to notice and appreciate how supported we are. Like, her going to the tip for me saved me probably an hour, right? And I needed that hour. And I won't go into it now, but I can see how that hour became really valuable for me, and I can see what I created with that hour. And, you know, the universe supported me to have that hour. That's a miracle. That is a miracle. We think miracles are like major physical healings, and they are. We think miracles are like winning the lottery, or, you know, suddenly having this massive influx of cash. And it is. And we are experiencing beautiful, like, miracles every single day. We've got to take notice, people. We need to notice, because we are creating more of it when we do. And then the final journal, expression, clarity, and connection. This is where I've taught this before, where you journal everything, get it out. You brain dump. You emotionally dump and express and release, and you clear all that shit out of your head, out of your body, until you feel peace come over you, and you can connect to your true spiritual self, and you can allow your spirit to write. So this is a place to just clear out and tune into the truth of who you are, and receive your guidance from your spirit. Receive that intuition, to feel that connected to source energy. I was up early this morning, 6ish, and I was doing this journaling. It was wonderful, and I wrote a beautiful vision for something I'm calling in, and it feels so real and so exciting and so powerful, and I can't wait to receive it. I can't wait. And I know I can only even hook into the clarity and the emotion and the absolute reality of my vision if I'm clean and clear, if I've dumped all the mental and emotional stuff. And that's my daily practice. I'm always letting go. I'm shedding all that stuff every day, because I know I can't live my biggest life unless I'm clean and clear. That's the commitment of this self-love affair process. That's what I really want for you guys. And then the third point that this chapter speaks to is inviting you to commit to a spiritual practice. I actually think journaling is a spiritual practice. Gratitudes are a spiritual practice. And your spiritual practice will become what it is for you. I'm not here to tell you what that is. There's loads of ideas in the book. The key is that you are connected deeply to the truth of you in whatever way works for you. And that could be meditation. And then some days your meditation could be going for a walk. Yesterday afternoon, I took myself off for a big stomp of a walk. It was great. I really walked fast and hard. And I was totally present and appreciating nature around me. And actually, I should Instagram a picture I took, because I took this stunning photograph of a field of just yellow flowers, which are rapeseed, I'm pretty sure. And these horses standing in amongst it. It was so beautiful. I was so present. I was really using my body, and anything that was coming up from me emotionally, I was stomping it out as I walked, and I felt clean and clear and inspired by the end of it. It was an hour, and that was my meditation yesterday. I didn't want to sit, in lotus doing whatever it is, I didn't want to yesterday. Yesterday I needed to move my body. You got to find what you need every single day. It'll change. I love that. I love not having a particular routine every single day. I personally like to wake up and set an intention for how I desire to feel that day, and how I desire to tune in to the truth of who I am. And what is that for me today? Is it going to be yoga? Is it going to be a walk? Is it going to be some exercise? Is it going to be a meditation? Is it journaling? Journaling is a very regular practice for me. What is it? And do that. Is it painting? Is it walking on the beach? Like, what's your thing? What has you feel really, really connected with you? Is it just having total silence? Just really being present with you? Sometimes I will just sit out and look at nature, and I'll feel the sun on my face. I'll put my hand on my heart and the other on my womb, and I will just connect. I'll just choose to open my heart and connect to my spirit. And I just sit there. And something shifts. Energy shifts. And I know that when energy shifts, everything shifts. It has a ripple effect. Everything around us kind of moves and reslots into place and supports us. So you got to have your spiritual practice and do what feels good for you, whatever that is. And I'm just looking at the book to see what else is in this chapter. Yeah, and I actually invite you to read through, like, now that for those of you who have, and whatever, when you have actually gone through the whole book and when you have actually done every single exercise, and you will have been using a journal through that, go back through your journal, go back through the chapters and go deeper and reflect on how far you've come. We women are pretty rubbish at self-congratulation. I really invite you to congratulate yourself, really honor how far you've come, and allow yourself to have come maybe just the tiniest little step forward, and then not judge that you haven't come far enough. Maybe there's certain areas that you feel like you haven't progressed at all, but I invite you to acknowledge that even just desiring to progress is a progression. Everything is a progression. Everything, even buying the book was progression. It all is. It all counts. Baby steps, right? Baby steps. And in some areas you might have leaped forward. Congratulate yourself for that. And just with love and compassion, keep going. Go back to the parts of the book, to any of the exercises and activities that you just know you didn't dive deep enough into, and there's more there for you. I go through this process again and again and again. As you really get how this works, and you will through practice, as you really get it, you'll see how you can actually apply the entire, we've just done 19 weeks of training, right? But you will start to see how that 19 weeks can become a way of doing life every single day. So you're actually embodying and using all of that every single day. It just becomes part of you. There's tools and techniques and practices and intentions and so on that it'll just become you, and it'll be your daily way of doing life. And while you're strengthening those self-love muscles and really strengthening that relationship with you, huge amounts of compassion and kindness are required. Everything is progress. Everything you do. Everything. Even just choosing. I could go on for hours on that. I'm not going to today. I'm going to wrap up this training with reading the last 3 pages of the book. And I'm doing that because they're just points, and they're little nuggets that I want you to take away from the book. And it really summarizes the whole book. And these nuggets are what I believe. This is what I believe. This is absolutely my truth. And I would like to share it with you in this bullet form point, or bullet form way, just to wrap up the 19 weeks of training, because, yeah, I love it. So here we go. You ready? And maybe if it feels good for you, while I read this out, I would really love for you just to sit with your eyes closed and just put your hand on your heart, maybe one on your womb. Just connect in with the truth of you and really feel the energy of these words. Feel the truth of them. Feel what's true about them for you specifically. How are these words true for you? How has your own personal journey so far been a reflection of these truths? As you hear them, allow yourself to notice, yeah, you know what, that's something that I would love to dive deeper into. You know, and that's really, feel it for you. Have your own experience as I read these words, okay? Don't just let me be reading out 3 pages, all right? This is your experience. So here goes. You are a beautiful spirit, perfect in every way, and you're meant to be here. When in doubt, hook back to your reason why. Allow that to remind you why you chose to wake up and live consciously. Remember that fear is just a story. Choose new stories that serve you. Dissatisfaction is a message from your spirit telling you it's time to grow. You are not your parents. You have the power to unlearn ways of being that are not your truth. Practice forgiveness. Remember, it's only you that hurts when you dwell on resentments. Your spirit desires to be in the driving seat of your life. Give your mind a rest and feel your way to the other side of your problems. Take responsibility for your life. No one but you can create the change that you desire. Depression is long-term repression. Safely express your emotions as often as possible. Journal, self-reflect, and create new awarenesses. You can never know yourself too deeply. Regularly check in with all areas of your life. Awareness is the first step towards change. Open your heart. Compassion and forgiveness reside there. Challenges are an opportunity for growth. Your spirit desires to expand. Nurture your inner child. Reparent yourself and offer your little girl plenty of unconditional love, attention, and understanding. Lean on your spirit team. The universe, your guides and angels are all waiting to support you. Pray for miracles. They are your divine right. Self-love means loving all parts of you. Your beautiful mind, your wondrous body, your delightful inner child, and your spectacular spirit. Commit to ways of loving all parts of you every single day. Hug yourself and say, I love you into the mirror as often as possible. Make an act of self-care your daily non-negotiable. Be patient with your process. Your body is your headquarters. It's not who you are. Talk to yourself as if you are your own best friend. Stick your values on the fridge and commit to honoring those when a decision is required. Listen to your spirit for your answers. Make loving choices. Live by your own rules. Mind your own business. Practice random acts of kindness. Have clearing conversations. Remember that how you feel is crucial to manifesting the life of your dreams. Give yourself permission to have fun, play, and joy. Keep your vibration high. You attract where you are at. Use affirmations as a tool to master your mind and your mouth. Praise yourself often. Practice gratitude daily. Witness your achievements and congratulate yourself regularly. Honor your deepest desires. They are the voice of your spirit and they are meant for you. Decide to thrive. Meditate. Be available to receive. Ask for help. Remember that you are a creator and you get to design your life. Live as if. Remember, your best is good enough. Relax, rest, and be. Develop the capacity to be still. Choose uplifting, nurturing, supportive thoughts. Rehearse your vision. Keep it alive, fresh, and exciting. Take action toward your desires. Surrender all outcomes to universe intelligence. When you love yourself, you do not need your partner or anything external to fulfill you. You are already full. Live the truth of your heart. You are the guardian of your soul. Be kind, compassionate, forgiving, and understanding to yourself and others. We are all here to learn how to love. We are all connected. Everything is love. Lady, You are so beautiful, so valued, and so loved. You know who you are, and it's your time to shine. I don't think I can really add too much to that. Yeah, I really want that for you. I'm committed to it, and I hope that you're committed to this path of doing life as well. The world would be a much better place if we all were. So hold on, before I wrap up, we have a little comment here. One sec. Anna Marie, hi darling. Love that desiring to progress is progression. Yeah, such a great reminder. Thank you. It's so easy to self-criticize around not making enough progress as opposed to recognizing how far we've come from any given point in time. Totally. Yeah, it's something just to be rehearsed, isn't it? We've just got to practice that we're all of us are actually always doing our best, and just our intention to do better is progress, right? Okay, guys, I have absolutely loved delivering these trainings to you the past few weeks. If you haven't already got the book, I recommend you grab it. It's on Amazon. And I also would really love, if you have this book and you haven't left a, what do they ask for? It's not a testimonial, is it? What's it called on Amazon? A feedback review. If you haven't left an Amazon review, please can you? This book has sold a lot of copies, and I think I have about 6 reviews on Amazon, which does not reflect how many women are using this book and transforming their lives and sharing this book with their friends and, their girlfriends, their sisters, their mothers, their daughters. And I would really love for you, because we do these days, don't we? We make decisions on what we're going to purchase based on reviews and based on word of mouth and recommendations. So if you could please support other women and support me in doing this work, can you please leave an Amazon review for me if you haven't already? I would so appreciate it. Thank you. And you know where I am if you want further support. The School of Self-Love, the School of Self.Love. We're here for you. And I'm not sure what I'm doing next in terms of Facebook Lives. I know there's a few of you are hoping I'm going to continue on with my weekly trainings. Something will be created. I don't do anything in my life or my business unless I really feel it, unless it feels totally guided and intuitively really good for me. And I don't know what the next teachings will be. I don't know the format going forward. And creating this and running this has felt fantastic. I'm proud of it. There's so much valuable content for you guys. And let's see what's next. So at this stage, there won't be a Facebook Live next week. And yet, then there might be. Who knows? I'm really open at the minute. I'm very surrendered. There's a few areas around my business and how I'm showing up in the public arena that I'm reviewing and feeling into. So just watch the space. We'll see what happens, see what comes. And if you have any particular requests from me, if there's anything that you do want to learn, if there's a way that I can support you, if you know what that is, please tell me. Please tell me. I'm here to listen, and let's see what comes. For now, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for joining me today. I love you lots, and have a beautiful rest of your day. See you later. Bye.